Hey guys, I'm here with the deck profile that I said I was gonna do. But here it is. It's kind of it's kind of like standard in my opinion. Like the only thing I'm not running that's standard is Spiral and Imperms. The reasons why I'm still testing them. I've been liking them. I haven't been hating them. So I've been enjoying them more. But so let's just get it back into the deck profile before I get sidetracked more. So for your main Radiant Typhoon cards, I run one Megahala. She's really good at one. Like you only need one. She doesn't do anything by herself, and she requires more cards. So if you try to run more than one, she becomes a brick. So one is perfectly fine since you can search it, and then you can do your stuff. 3 Eldam. Eldam is your main start. Your two main starters of the deck is Eldam and Swen. Eldam gets you Corsair. I'll say Eldam is the better starter than Swen in my opinion. Swen is good if you're going first, but if you're going second, Swen is also just your better normal summon rather than Eldam, since they'll probably have back row. When they have the back row, they can't special summon themselves. And if you don't open up MST, you just normal summon Eldam, do nothing. Unless you have like quick plays, of course. But Swen gets you into your MST, into your visions, into your chant, all that good stuff. So you run 3 and 3. You run 3 Corsair. This card's so fucking good. This card is so fucking good. So when a quick play is activated, it doesn't have to be yours, by the way. It could be your opponent's. She's fucking annoying in the mirror match. she's technically a +1 on summon, since she replaces herself and she adds 1. So she's technically a +1. So if you keep recurring her with the Ascendants, she just gets out of control, like value-wise. Then you have your 1-ups of your Vararoon. You don't want more of these guys. You don't want Phonics more than one either, in my opinion, because they're just bricks in your hand, because they don't do anything on their own. They're better as an end war piece or like an interruption. So your main focus is set up your Link 2, your Mandate, of course the Engrave, and Vararoon. I usually summon Phonics every now and then, but honestly, Vararoon's probably like the better one because the negate. This is good for breaking. Phonics is good for breaking boards, in my opinion, but they're perfectly fine at 1. There's no need to run them at more than 1. And this card, oh man, Sheena is such a fucking good card, man. There's such good utility. Bouncing all your Eldams, your Corsair, or bouncing your Vararoon, even though it's kind of whatever. You should bounce your Vararoon. But Sheena is so good. Or you could bounce back row, whatever floats your boat. Even though the monster one is probably like the best one. So like if you're baiting out everything monster negate and they activate their last monster negate, you change Shia, bounce their whole board. Feels so fucking good. I was running it. You could argue you could run this at 3, arguably. I was liking it at 3, but I might bump it to 3. But right now, I think 2's been fine for me. And then, still more on the MST archetype. On the Radiant Typhoon archetype, you have 3 MST, of course. You gotta. 3 Visions, it's your Destiny draw as your... You can discard any quick play. So it's not just your MSTs or your chant or whatever, but it's any quick play, so it's really fun. Draw 2, always good. And then your other starter, chant as your Eldam or Swen. So if you already have Eldam, you could get your Swen. And Swen could also get Visions since you're a draw 2. Or if you really want, you could go chant into Megahala if you have like more quick plays in your hand to summon that way, if you want. And then your 1 Ascendance, it's good. you search it off a Swin like 90% of the time. Most of the time, you summon it off a Swin. And then it's just a good revive, so you keep reviving your Corsair, keep getting advantage. The thing about Corsair is she can add it from the graveyard as well, not just from your deck. So if you want to recycle this, you can add back this and an MST from your graveyard if you want. Sometimes I do that, sometimes you don't. It's like eh. And then for the last Radiant Typhoon card, then we go over the non-engine, is 2 Varun the Marine Eldion. 2 Radiant Typhoons, adds MST on summon. Oh, I forgot one more trap, but we're gonna go over it right now. When a quick play is activated, you get to activate your mandate, which makes the meme. MST does negate now. It is not hard once per turn, it's once per chain. So if you have like 3 MSTs, you can negate 3 face-up cards. It doesn't even have to negate the card that you target with MST. It can be any face-up card. So it's a really good inboard piece, and this just ties in the support so well. In my opinion. But that's all the Radiant Typhoon cards, including the Mend. Oh, and it also has, I almost forgot, it also has an effect where you can target 3 quick plays, not just your Radiant Typhoon cards. It has to include at least 1, but if you have like, you can recycle your droplets, you can recycle your called by, which is also pretty cool. So you can always recycle those with Radiant Typhoon with Mandate. And they also gain 300 attack and defense, which is kind of relevant. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Most of the time you just want to shuffle and just get draws. So you can get into your Ashe, your Sheena, or your Maxi. Or your Purges. But now, for the non-engine, your obvious one of Maxi staple, of course. Not much to say about this bug. I hope it's gone. Almost time. I hope. And then 3 Ash Blossom, of course, to counter the Maxi minigame. You run 3 Fua, so it's just to stop your opponent from playing. So like Fua's Fua, like it's like Maxi but more quote unquote balanced. It's quote unquote more balanced, not really. It can still be very oppressive, like the bug, depending on the deck, in my opinion. It depends. But you can't activate it after making a full board, so I guess that's one benefit that Maxi doesn't have, like, doesn't have that weakness. Nothing feels worse than getting full combo and then they're like Maxi and standby. And you have your 1 Call by the Grave. Triple Droplet. Probably like one of the best board workers in the game, in my opinion. One of them. It can break so many boards if you just send a monster. And then you can send your spells, because they're all quick plays, so you can activate everything on board. And then if they finally respawn, if they don't, you just chain droplets, send everything that you activated and a monster in hand. Maybe like an Ashe that got called by, or a Fua that's dead. And then they can't respawn, you need the whole board, and you just go ham with breaking your board with Eldam, Phonix, Corsair, all that good stuff. I run 2 Imperm, because I kind of want traps in the grave for Spiral. Spiral has been but really good card here is Purge. Purge is really good, but always remember to use your Ashe before you purge from hand. Because then you can't use Ashe, because it negates fire effects if you activate it from hand. So just keep that in mind. So if you have both of these, always Ashe first, even though Ashe hits a lot more cards than Purge does. But just keep that in mind. Then you run 2 Spiral. I run 2 Spiral, sorry. It's pretty good against K9. K9, it's kind of okay against K9, so if they punish you, you can punish them back with Dominus Spiral when they summon Ripper. Granted, if they don't summon it with Lupus. But if they don't, you just bounce the Ripper and call it a day. And then that's it for the main deck, in my opinion. I think it's kind of fine. Honestly, if I had to be nitpicky, I would probably cut the spirals, but they've been fine, in my opinion, so I haven't been hating them too much. I highly recommend to try them out and feel for yourself, but probably the most cuttable ones are Spiral and probably Imperm are probably like the most cuttable, in my opinion, if you want to make it 40 cards. And then for the extra deck, 2 Totem Bird, just spell and trap negate with your Eldam and Swins, or Meg Hollow, but usually you want to end on Meg Hollow so you can summon your Vara Rune and or Phonics to interrupt them. So you mostly want to do Eldam and Swin. Fortune Tune is just, they can't target it, it's just for Zeus. It's just to go into Zeus essentially. Bamboozling Shadow. So this card's interesting because it can negate Nib, but sometimes you don't play into Nib that often. Or if you're trying to break a board, you could go into this before you go into your, before you summon your Corsair and stuff. That'd be pretty good. So you can summon Eldam, and if you already have Corsair in hand, so you go Eldam, add Swin, Swin, special, add. Since the biggest choke point, in my opinion, is the Corsair, so you can just make Gossip Shadow, and they're like, damn. And they're like, damn. And another good one, Cicada King is a good one. It's just a monster negate, essentially. And then you're downward into Zeus. Then you have your Typhon. Keep in mind, if you purge, you can't activate Typhon. So that is one thing to keep note of. I did that a couple times, I will admit. I was like, wait, why can't I activate Typhon? Now I look at my grip, I'm like, oh yeah, purge. Then Great Fly. Great Fly is kind of decent to try to close out games. It's mostly just to add back your Corsair or your Eldam, whatever you want, or your Sheena actually. It can add back when it gets destroyed by a battle or card effect. So it can get back your Sheena in your graveyard or your Corsair. Then my favorite charmer of all time, the Wind. So Wind is really good in the mirror. It can summon Droll into a Link 3, aka your Doom Eagle. You also run your Doom Eagle just to get graveyard disruption. When you can also always crash Wind if you want, so you could get into your engine that way. Just keep in mind, you just have to figure out how to shuffle it back, because it's kind of helpful, but But in the mirror match, this card's so fucking good. Of course, and the mirror match is really good. You have your 1 SP, of course. I don't think I have to explain what SP does, so yeah. Then, like I mentioned, Doom Eagle is a quick effect, shuffle a monster in your opponent's graveyard. It's good interruption, you can shuffle the Lupus, all that good stuff. You can go into battle phase, then shuffle the Lupus if you want. Or if they're trying to add back with Rock, you can shuffle back the Raisin or whatever, it doesn't matter. Really good card. And then it gets really fucking big if they have no monsters in graveyard, but sometimes that doesn't happen, sometimes it does. I think it gets to 48, which is pretty big. And then the last card, because this card's still legal, you can summon Samorg. Samorg just summons your Corsair. Or if you want to BM your opponent, it can summon Fua. Most of the time, if you have these and this, and they stop you from your engine, and you have a, since you special summon these, you can norm summon the Fua, because it's a winged beast, believe it or not. Go into Samorg, Samorg go into Corsair, gets you into your engine, and then you can still set up some type of stuff. Not a whole lot, but something better than nothing. But I think with that though, that is my deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys at the games, because I recorded 2 games on how the deck performed and whatnot. So I'll see you guys there. Alright, here we go guys with the first game. So I opened up a pretty average hand. I was like, okay, this hand is not the worst. Even though I went first, so I just set 2 pass, called it a day. I was like, okay, I could do some stuff. They're like, Fua. I'm like, sure. I don't have anything for that. They are Salji. I'm like, Chain Droplets and Fua. They go Prayers, which is pretty good here. I was like, that's pretty good. Dodges the Droplet, all that good stuff. They get the Salji Surge, which is pretty good. Bad for me, but good for them. But I do get my Phonics here. This is what I was saying, how Phonics could be a brick because you can't do much about it. They summoned that. I was like, okay, they tribute my thing. I'm like, sure. They get Mirror here. I'm like, okay. They go Ritual, try to summon from deck. I ash it. I was like, okay, that's good. Because you can't ash the... Which effect was it? I think the second effect. You can't ash the second effect. So you just have to keep that in mind. So there's summon Habakiri. They go Mirror, summon Habakiri. I'm like, sure. They get Futsu. They get a Prayers. I'm like, okie dokie. They go Battle. I take 44. I'm like, okay, I'm still not out of it. I'm like, blind MST for the fucking win. I hit their prayer. And I get the Phonics here, which is really good. So, I think I forgot to mention in the deck profile that its hand effect to special summon and its grave effect to special summon is separate effects. So, you can summon it from hand, link it away, activate an MST, bring it back from the grave. I think Varun also does that, so I forgot to mention that, so I apologize. So you can also summon that as well. So you can summon it once from hand and once from graveyard. So it's really good recursion. So I was like, okay, draw Fua. I'm like, lean 2 into win. I summon their Fua, they impermanent. I'm like, sure. I'm like, I guess that's fine. I go battle phase, attack. I go win. Add Eldam. Special Eldam. Add Swen. I go Swen. They Prayers here. I'm like, okay. That's fine. They add Kusanagi and they add Special Summon Aramasa, so I add Chant here. So they had double prayer. So this is when I realized that that's all 3 of their prayers. Because they used one at the start of the turn. I MST'd one. And they just used one, so they have no more prayers. So they do other Mitsurugi stuff, of course. They get they get Murakumo. The mirror shuffles itself. Then Habakiri special summons itself back. Into defense, funny enough. Now I go into my Link 2, add MST. I go Chant, add a Mycala. I go Varun to set Mandate, then I draw 2. I shuffle the Droplet, MST, and Radiant. I get Vision. I was like, okay, Vision is here, really good. I MST my thing. I get Mycala 1, Phonics 2. Also, I realized I forgot to mention what other effect that the fucking Link 2 does. I apologize again. It can also push back reasons why I pushed back the Murakumo. So they can't use it for a ritual, so they can't get more card effects like that. I have scuffed this deck profile, but I do not care. I add Varun, and I add another MST here. I go Vision, Chain MST. Vision adds back an MST from grave or deck. So add another MST. Then Phonics shuffle. I only shuffle 1 because I don't want them to add this back and break my board like that. So I'd rather just beat over it. So I just shuffle the Aramasa here. Then I'm going to Great Fly. Because they can just leave that there. I don't care about that. So I negate with Vibrant. The droplet here. I'm like, okay. I was like, chain MST. Then chain to negate the droplet. Now all they have is a dead mirror and whatever else they have in hand. I think the Murakumo. So I know everything in hand. So they have the mirror and Murakumo. Summon Corsia. Corsia is a great follow-up. I get Chant. And I add an MST from Grave. They go mirror. I'm like, sure. I activate it here so I can use my Phonics so I can shuffle back their monster. And they can't do anything about it. I keep that MST for obvious reasons, so I can have my negate with Mandate, all that good stuff. Murakumo 1, Phonics 2, shuffle, and call it a day. They add a ritual, and that's it. That was too much for them. But that was the first game, and I'll see you guys on the second game. Alright, and here we are with the second game, guys. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm having fun. I have to make more video for you guys. So, I was testing this card, so this is kind of an old replay for one of them. I was testing this card. This is just like another starter, or like not another starter, another searcher to search your Eldem to get you into your combo and all that good stuff. It plays really hard in the drill, and I ended up cutting it because it's alright. You could definitely run it though. Recommend it. It just adds your Eldem. Eldem gets you into your full combo, but plays really bad into drill, so that's why I cut it. So I go second here against the Blue Eyes, funny enough. So I was like, okay, I have nothing for the Blue Eyes player here. Unfortunately, I don't have anything for Blue Eyes here. When they add the ultimate fusion, it's like, no, I'm like, okay, they're gonna summon Magia. I was like, unfortunately, I can't punish that. Because I didn't open up any freaking hand traps. I was like, okay, so they do their standard Blue Eyes combo. Sage, add Kaibaman, this gets their field spell. Field spell, extra normal summon the Kaibaman, the legendary Kaibaman. The legend, sorry. The Kaibaman, the legend. The only reason I personally don't play Blue Eyes, I'm no Blue Eyes expert. I personally don't like running Kaibaman, the legend. For one reason and one reason only. It's because you get to run 3 Blue Eyes. That's the only reason why I don't like it. But that's just me. So I was like, okay, they summon the Neo Kaiser Seahorse. I'm like, okay. I was like, they're gonna have a lot of stuff, unfortunately. So they summon Ultimate Spirit Dragon. I'm like, okay, this kind of sucks, but whatever. And this is where they get their Magia, because this dumps the Chaos Max, and that's what they need for Magia. The Ultimate Fusion, I was like, okay, this sucks, but whatever. They summon their Blue Eyes, and they get their Maiden here. And this has a second effect. You vanish, and they add a Blue Eyes. I think they add Jet, right? Yeah, they add Jet. And they summon Maiden, so I have to deal with a Spirit, an Ultimate Spirit, and a Spirit Dragon, and a Magia negate. I was like, oh, this fucking sucks. I'm like, alright, let's see what I can do. And I drew Sheena for turn. I was like, if I can negate this Magia, if I can bait this out, the monster, if I can bait out the Magia effect, the monster negate specifically, I can bounce their whole board and I'm chilling. So I was like, I just have to bait out the monster negate for this card. I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, Shield Bearer. And they had Ash. I'm like, I'm like, this fucking sucks, bro. I'm like, whatever, sure. I'm like, fine, sure. That was a bait, I guess. I summoned Eldem, but they used the Magia. I was like, I'm like, why didn't you use Ultimate Spear Dragon here? And then they just get hard punished here. I go Sheena. I change Sheena. I bounce the Eldam back to my hand. I bounced their whole fucking board. I go Visions. I'm gonna draw 2. I draw another fucking Eldam. I'm like, okay, dude. I have all 3 Eldam. Yeah, they set the trap. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I'm like, okay, I'm forced to MST here. They get to set. And I go Mandate. I thought I could negate, but that's when I realized is it has to chain directly. So the only way that Mandate can negate is if it changed directly to the MST. So always keep that in mind. It has to change. It's like Lady Lambert. It has to chain directly to the trap before you could chain and set another trap. MST their back row. They pop both of my cards. They go Sage. I'm like, okay. They go Big Machine and Sage. I'm like, okie dokie. There's Sage here. Add a Maiden. I'm like, okay. I was like, what can they do? They already used the Effector Revive, so I'm not scared about that. They have Roar. I'm like, okay. I'm still at 8k, so I'm not worried. They get Maiden here. They go Bingo Machine. I'm like, okay. They Synchron Spirit. I'm like, okie dokie. Poke for 25. I'm like, okay. I drove Phonics here, which is kind of decent here. They summon the Ultimate Spear Dragon again. So I go Eldam Search. They have another fucking Ash. I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my gosh, dang it, man. It's like normal. I make Fortune Tune. I have to. So the only reason why I didn't attack into this is because I could special summon another tuner or something. So I was like, whatever. I was like, go Downer. I go into Zeus. So and I'm so glad I played Downer is so I could just like, in case they have like Veiler or something, I could double Zeus. They negate. I'm like, sure, I'll change Zeus again. If they have the Veiler, I lose. I was like, okay, send everything. I'm like, send yourself now. And that gets destroyed, so they're down to 1 card, and it's either the Wishes or the Chaos Max. They set Pass. I'm like, okay. I draw Droplet. I'm like, this fucking sucks. They drew Maxi. I was like, Droplet's not that bad here, so I'm like, whatever. I forgot they had Jet. Jet is really good here. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I attack. I'm like, Droplet to negate. And they can't bounce anymore, and they crash into it. So I'm like, okay. I was like, I need engine. I need any type of engine, and I'll be fine. And I top deck one. I'm like, okay, this is engine here. I get Chant. And I go Chant. And I was gonna try to add Eldam, but if you guys have been paying attention, I opened all 3 of them. Or drew into all 3 of them. I was like, oh shit. So I'll go into SP here. So I can banish the spirit, the Jet. I'll attack over Joel. So now I know their card in hand. I'll go win. Summon Joel. Into Great Fly. Kind of a waste, but I was like, I kind of need the Great Fly here. So if they get beat over it. If they beat over it, they beat over it. I drew Ash. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, Great Fly beat down. Let's go. I'm like, alright, let's go. Great Fly beat down. And they set. I'm like, okay. I was like, draw for turn. I drew 4. I'm like, bro. What are these draws? I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna go into battle. If they don't have anything, I win. If they have something, I'm kind of fucked. But if they destroy this, I could get into engine, and then from there, I could just control the board. I go battle. And they had nothing. I was like, oh my goodness. That was such a good game for me. I don't know how their misplay was not using ultimate to negate on field, but they decided to use the Magia, and then the Sheena just comes and wrecked them. But I think that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next time. Oh, or on stream. See you guys either on stream or on the next video. Until then, guys, take care. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.